Shopify Dawn Theme Customization. Hello guys and welcome to today's video. In today's video, we will be showing you on how you could customize your Shopify Dawn theme, and we're going to show you step by step on what you can do with the customization of your store. Now, as you can see right now on our screen, we're currently in Shopify. I have created a completely new store for today's demonstration, so we will be starting absolutely from scratch. Now, as you can see, this is what you're usually going to see when you first create your account. You have your to-do list over here to be able to set up your store perfectly. Now, to be able to check if your Shopify Dawn theme is already installed, you can check it out over here under the online store, other themes over here, as you can see. And usually this is where you will be able to find it. And usually the Shopify Dawn theme is the default theme that it's going to be installed to your store. As you can see here, it is added 8 minutes ago. So the Shopify Dawn theme is the default theme that any new users or any new store is going to use. Of course, there are other themes that other people can use. As you can see here, you have your Refresh, Craft, Sense, Urgent, and other themes inside the theme store, but the Dawn theme is the default. So we will be customizing our Shopify Dawn theme in today's video. Now, to be able to customize your Shopify Dawn theme is, of course, you're going to have to go under the themes, under online store over here, and simply click on customize over here. After that, you will be redirected to the editing page wherein we will be able to customize our store, as you can see here. Now, the theme is Dawn, so this is what the Shopify Dawn theme looks like. The theme is basically the style or how your store would look like. So depending on the specific theme that you selected, of course, the appearance of your store is going to be different as well. But as you can see, for today's video, we will be focusing on the Dawn theme, and this is our Dawn homepage over here. And let's go check out the different pages. We have our products over here. Right now, we don't have any products yet. Later, we're going to add a product so that we can customize the product page. You have your collection list over here. Right now, we don't have any collection list, but this is what it will look like. This is the page for the collection list. And you can check out different pages over here as well, like the contact page if you want to check out the contacts. As you can see, there's also catalog over here. The thing I like about the Shopify editing page, where you can customize and edit the online store, is that you can actually interact with the website even though you're editing it. Like, as you can see earlier, I was interacting with the catalog, the contact, and the home over here by simply selecting it over here, although I can already edit it over here on the left side. I can also view the cart over here. As you can see, when I click on this option over here, same thing with the search, it will show us all of that. And you can also view the cart over here in this section. Now, if you don't like seeing your store as a desktop preview, and this is what it would look like on a mobile preview. Now, there's also other options to view it over here. As you can see, this is the full screen. This is what your users would actually see, because this is the full screen, the mobile, and the desktop. So I think for today's video, I will be focusing on the mobile. Eventually, or every so often, we're going to be changing it to desktop so that we could also preview it in the desktop preview. But we're going to be editing the mobile version so that we can see our store properly. Now, to be able to edit or play around with the different settings of the website, as you can see here, we will be starting, by the way, with the home page. You're going to have to look over here on the left side. This is the different parts of your online store. You have your header, which is this top part over here, the part that says welcome to our store, this hamburger icon over here, this title page over here, or like your logo area, your search bar, and your cart over here. This is the heading page. Then the template or the body of your website is the section over here, from this browse our latest product until over here at the product over here. The subscribe to our emails is part of the footer, as you can see here in this section. Now, when I select on the announcement bar, this is the announcement bar over here, the welcome to our store, you will be able to edit the content. Like as you can see here, you have your welcome to store element over here, you can change this to whatever announcement that you want. For example, product 50% off, or whatever announcement you would like to add to your store. Now, so as you can see, it's going to fix it as well in the product 50%. Now, you could also add a link to this if you want. For example, we did say that we have a product that is 50% off. Let's say the word off over here. There we go. Then you can simply add the link for that specific product. Like, you can simply click on product over here and it will appear over here. Then you can simply link the specific product for that. Or you can even link it to a collection of product, like for example, collections over here. Now, because we haven't added a product yet, it's not going to appear there yet. So you could add multiple announcement bar by simply clicking on the announcement over here, like add announcement. Then you will be able to add another announcement, wherein you will be able to check it out by clicking on the arrow over here. As you can see, it's going to move through the first announcement and the second announcement over here. And if you have multiple announcements, of course, you could add them over here as many as you want. Then you could do the same thing, the same editing that we did. You can see here. Now we will be able to also manipulate how the interaction between the users and the store does in our announcement section over here. Now the header, which is this one over here, our hamburger and store, and then search bar and stuff, you will be able to add more block to it. You can click on add block, but over here there is no block that is available for us to add. Maybe when you install some apps that you could add to your Shopify, you might be able to add some blocks that you could add to the header. These are apps that you could check out on the embeds over here, or later on in the home page, where you could install different apps that you could use to interact with your store. You can also add sections in the header area. You could either add another announcement bar. You can click this and there will be another announcement bar. As you can see here, there's one on top and there's one on the bottom. You could rearrange them by dragging it over here on the corner. As you can see, when you hover, there's like this 6 dots that will appear on the side of the eye. The eye indicates visibility, by the way. If you click this, of course, it's going to make that specific announcement bar disappear. Then you could make it reappear by simply clicking on the eye once again. And to be able to rearrange it, of course, just drag it and then you could rearrange it just like that. Now our announcement bar number 2 is on the top over here. You will be able to see it over here, as you can see. Then, as you can see, the difference also, this one's black and this one's white. Now, why is it 2 different colors? You could manipulate the color or like extra settings about the announcement bar when you select this. As you can see, when I click this, there we go, you will be able to edit the color scheme. As you can see, the scheme right now is scheme 4. You could change this to any of the scheme that we have over here. Maybe 5, as you can see, it's going to turn blue. Or maybe the normal one, which is like that. And scheme number 2, it has a grayish color. Then another color like that. And then the black and white color that we have earlier. You could also show separation line over here. You could enable this setting. And there's also icons on desktop. You could enable this. This is for the desktop version though, but right now we don't have it. So we will be able to show that later on when we add social media to our store, when we connect it to our social media. Now there's also announcement over here. This is what I was talking about earlier. You could change the interaction. So instead of the users clicking it manually to be able to see the next announcement, there will be an auto rotate announcement over here. You could edit the amount or like the duration of one announcement. You could have it as 10 seconds as the maximum and 3 seconds as the minimum. And then you could enable the country and region selector, although you have to add this to your settings. Then you also have your language selector over here. It will appear over here on the top if ever you added the country or region in the market settings, and if ever you added the language in your language settings as well. You can also play around with the theme. As you can see here, this is where you could also add like the different social media. So let's copy this for the Facebook. Simply copy this. This is just for demonstration. Then copy this, paste it over here. Then after that, you're simply going to be able to see this later on I'm not sure where it will appear, but later we're going to be showing you. Let's paste it over here just like that. Now we have 3 supposed to be social media icons. Then you can also customize the CSS over here if ever you have codes that you know. This is for programmers who have a lot of knowledge about programming and like customizing different parts of the page. Or if you have already a source code that you found in the internet, of course you can paste it over here as well, and it will apply it to the section of the announcement bar only. So this is going to be limited to the announcement bar only. But if you want to have a custom CSS on different parts, you will also be able to do that later on. Now we could check it out on our desktop view. And as you can see, it's going to show you the social media icons over here. And then when the customer selects it, of course, they will be redirected to the link added over here. So it's going to be connected. So we won't be able to see it on the mobile view, but they will be able to see it on the desktop view. So going back, that is what you could do with the announcement bar. Now you have your header over here, which is this one over here. You will be able to change the position of the logo. Right now we don't have a logo, but I'm going to show you later on how you could add a logo for your Shopify. And you have your menu over here. You can change the menu if ever you want. This is the menu, by the way. This is the main menu, and then you could add like change menu over here. You could change the preview from main menu to a footer menu, or you could create a manual or a new menu for you to show over here. And to be able to like customize the menu, like the content over here, you're going to have to select this thing over here, this arrow indication, which would redirect you to this page over here where you could add navigations. As you can see here, this is technically the navigation area. Then you could simply click on add menu item. Then let's say, what can we add? Like about us page. Simply type the about us over here. Then you can simply put in the link of the about page over here. Although you're going to have to make another page in the page section over here as well. So every feature over here interacts with each other. So yes, you could create the main menu over here, but you're going to have to create the page first before you will be able to add it in your main menu items. So for example, over here, we're going to add an about us page over here. Let's add a page. There we go. And then about us. Simply type it here, about us. Let's refresh this. Simply type the title of the page that you want to add. Click on about us. And then you simply click on save. You could choose or add the other stuff as well. Now we have this page over here. Now let's see this. Let's go back here. So refresh this one. Let's see if it will show up. If it doesn't show up, we're going to skip that. But let's see if it will appear now on our add menu item. Then link over here. I don't think it's showing. So anyway, oh, actually there it is. You're going to have to select it on the pages section over here. Then you have your about us option over here. Then simply click on add, and there we go. We have your about us section over here added to our main menu. Now you're simply going to click on save. Now going back here, you're going to have to like refresh this, or we're going to save it first. Then we're going to save it, and then we're going to reload it, and let's see if it will show us. Try again. We're going to reload our page over here. Let's see the difference. Let's see our output. Let's see if it will be applied to our menu. Then we could show it off. And there we go. Now we have the about us page over here. Now you could open this. Then you can simply customize this. You could add whatever you want. And this is the section over here. Actually, we're going to click this. If you want to edit the about us page that we have just added, or any page in fact that you have just added to your store through the steps that we just did earlier, like in the page section, the navigation section, and now over here, you're simply going to click on the section over here, click on pages. Now you have the option to select the page for about us. This is the about us page over here. Then You could change it by interacting with the stuff over here on the left side as well. Now we're going to go back to our home page. Now we're going to play around with the other stuff. Earlier we were focusing on the header. Now let's go and focus on the template. Now as you can see here, we have an image banner. This is the image banner over here with the browse our latest over here. Then they have a button over here. Now we could add multiple blocks, such as a text block over here. You can add this, and then you will see it over here. You have this option over here. Now for the image banner, there's a limit of 3 blocks, which is now occupied. We have this header text over here. You could change the content of this to whatever. You could ask Shopify to like rephrase it or create another text for you, but let's see. Over here, as you can see, for example, this one, not going to change it. Discover our latest product offerings, or you could simply type in your own heading. Then you could change the size over here. Now going back, you could also play around and fix the button over here. This is the button, the shop all. You could change the label over here. You could change the link. For the shop all, of course, all product page is selected. It is the link automatically. You could also remove the outline button style. As you can see, for the outline button style, it will make it transparent. Then you also have your second button label over here and the second button link. Now right now we don't have a second button, but if you add, it will just appear on the right side. Or you could also remove this if you don't want this block over here by simply clicking on remove block. Then you will be able to remove it. Now over here, for example, this one, this is our text. You can simply customize it however you want. And the text style right now is body. You could make it to subtitle or an uppercase depending on your preference. And if you don't want this in your heading or your image banner over here, you simply click on remove block. And there we go, you will be able to remove it. And now you could also add other stuff. You have your featured collections over here. You could add section for the entire template by simply clicking on add section over here, and then you have all of this list that you could add it on. You have featured collection, featured product, collection list, rich text, image with text, and all of these different options that you could check out and use. And you could even add a video if you want to add it. And then you have your custom liquid over here. If you have your own code, like I said earlier, with the custom CSS, you could also add it in this section. Now for example, I would like to add maybe a slideshow. Simply click that and it will be able to add the slideshow over here below. Then we could rearrange it. For example, I would like the slideshow to appear first before the image banner. So I'm simply going to drag it to the top, and there we go. Now our image banner is on the top and the image banner is now over here in the center. I mean, the slideshow is now on the top and now the image banner is at the center. What we're going to do next is we're actually going to change the image of the slideshow. You could change the image of the slideshow by simply selecting it over here on the template side, of course. Then you have the option to select image slide, as you can see here. So when you select that, this is our image over here. You could add the title of the product. Then you could change the heading size, maybe to small, as you can see. Then you could have your subheading over here. Then you could also have a label. You have your button label over here, for example, shop now, if ever you want that. Or you could remove that if you want. As you can see, it will automatically remove it. You could also remove that, or you could also remove the heading if you want. If you want to have just like an image for your style, then you will be able to also play around with the different settings that you are seeing right now. Now for the image, to be able to change the image, you're simply going to click on select image over here. Then you're going to upload the image, of course, of your product. So for example, let's go to our website over here, Pexels, and then let's download ourselves a photo that we could use just to demonstrate on how you could upload different photos to your Shopify store. Now let's see, let's look for something that we could download. Let's simply download a random photo, for example, this one over here. Simply download this and then we could show you how it would work. And let's wait for it to load so that we could download it. Now while waiting for this to load, we could go back to over here. We can click on upload image and you will be able to see the images that you have. Over here, let's click on free download. Yeah, let's wait for it. Give it some time. There we go. It's now downloading. So we're simply going to go back here and let's wait for our photo to download. Then we're simply going to upload our photo. There we go. We're simply going to wait for it to upload. And then we could select it as one of our images that we would like to show. Simply click on done. Then as you can see, it's going to show over here on the left side. And there we go. We now have our image as part of our slide. And there we go. Now we have one of the images occupied in our slideshow. Then you could move it around by clicking this. They could move it through the different slides. Of course, you could add more slides of your images over here. There's a limit of 5 slides for the slideshow. So choose the image that you're going to want to show. Choose the product that you're going to want to show to your different users first. For example, you have a top selling product. Of course, you're going to want to show that as like a featured product in this section as well. So you could do that. You could also edit the specific layout of the slideshow, like the specific settings. You could select the slideshow over here. Then you have your layouts. You could change it to full width or to grid. You could change the slide height to adapt to first image or whatever image you have. And you could also change it to small, medium, or large. You have your pagination style. You have counter or dots. You can see it's going to change it over here. Or you have numbers. You can see here it's going to change. Or you could enable the auto rotate as well, similarly to our announcement bar over here. Then you could change it to every 3 seconds or every 9 seconds. For the image behavior, you could have ambient movement. Of course, when they move, there's going to be like a simple animation or like a motion for the image. Then there's also the mobile layout, of course, over here. It will show the content below images on mobile. So the difference between desktop, it's going to show it in the middle. And for the mobile, it's going to be below. So this one's in the middle. We could change this. So let's see. I don't think we can change the location of our section over here. So it's going to be the permanent area for this section. And let's go check out the first page. And unfortunately, it's just going to be a blank white because we deleted the content. But anyway, that is how you will be able to interact with the slideshow. Now you can simply choose any of this part over here. You are able to build your store however you want. You can add whatever you want on the home page. You can choose from any of this option that you are seeing right now. And you have the ability to edit specifically almost every feature or every settings of that specific section. Now we have our image banner over here as well. You could change the content of this by doing the same thing. Select image, then selecting the image that you want to show in the image banner, and then it will change it automatically over here. Simply wait for it, and there we go. Now you have your image over here. The option to add a second image will just have a duplicate image for your banner. As you can see, it's going to cut the image in half. So if you don't have like a good images to connect with, or like if you don't have a product that you don't want to connect together, I don't suggest that you use the second image option. You could also edit the image overlay over here, the opacity. You can make it super dark. There we go. Then you can make it like super clear depending on your preference. Then you have your banner height over here. You can make it adjust or adapt to the first image or whatever settings that you want. It is completely up to you. Then you have your content section over here. You could move it to the top left. It's a bit hard to see on mobile, but the settings is for desktop either way. You can change it however you want. It depends on the content that you have, and it's going to move around. So let's go back to mobile over here. And there's also animations. You can add animations like zoom in on scroll. Like if you scroll down, it's going to zoom the image a bit, or like a fixed background position. It's not really showing us. Let's see on the desktop, it's fixed. So zoom in, scroll. It's not showing that much, but anyway, for the mobile layout, you could have it as the left. You can see it's going to change the content to the left side. You could also change it to the right side. There we go, like basically the alignment of the content. Then you have your stock image on mobile, show container on mobile. Then you could also edit the theme settings, and you also have your custom CSS available for the specific section. And similarly with the slideshow, you could add blocks as well. You have 3 blocks. There we go. That is the limit. And you also have your featured collection over here. This is our featured collection. There we go. Then almost similarly with the other options, the other sections, the settings are almost the same, but some differences, like Over here, you could change the maximum products to be shown and the maximum number of columns on the desktop. All of those settings you could change around. And for the footer over here, this is our footer over here. You could add blocks. The different blocks that you could add are like a menu. There we go. It will show it over here like quick links. And like earlier, you were able to view or have the main menu as well edited for the footer. As you can see here, you have your footer menu. You could click that. Then you could add the different menu items over here on the footer. And it will also show up over here in the quick links. Then you can click this. Then you can change the heading. Then you can select the menu option over here. As you can see, it is automatically the footer menu. And you can also add sections. Although for the sections for the footer is very limited. Unlike with the body or the template wherein we could add almost everything. For this one, you could only add the email sonnet, which is already present over here. Now it's going to be duplicated. So for this, we're simply going to delete this. So to be able to delete, we're going to open that and click on remove section. And we were able to remove it. There we go. We can also edit the logo over here by going to the theme settings. In the theme settings, this is where you will be able to edit a lot of the physical appearance of your store as well, like colors, typography, layouts, animations, buttons, barhead builds, inputs, and all of those other options over here that we could also check out. For example, for the logo, this is where it will show it over here on the My Store. You can select it in this section, or we can explore our free images over here. Let's go with Stop Favorites, and you have all of these options over here. You could also go to Canva, where you could create your very unique logo, wherein you could use hundreds and thousands of different elements in Canva to build your logo that you could use in Shopify. And let's make a quick one actually, or let's download a very quick image in Canva, then we could show you how you'll be able to show it in your Shopify store. You could use Canva to build your own logo, and then you can simply upload it over here, and then it will show up where the location of my store is. So it's going to basically remove that. And you could use other platform. The Canva is optional. I'm only suggesting that because I personally have experience with using it, but if you want to use it, of course, it is up to you. And to be able to upload the logo, you can simply click on select image over here, similarly with what we did with the other image banner or like the heading earlier. It is that easy. And you can also do other things. You could have a favicon image, change the desktop logo with over here. You could also change the color over here. You have your color schemes, and you could add a color scheme over here, which would allow you to like customize the style. For example, you would like to have a red background, a white text, all of that stuff, and then you will be able to have a specific scheme, as you can see here, that you could use for the specific sections of your page, similarly with what we did with the announcement bar earlier. You can also edit the typography. For the typography, basically this is the font of your store. You could change it out. Right now we have your headings over here. We could change it to all of this option over here. We are seeing, for example, we have our Braille font face. As you can see, it's already going to change it on our store over here. It's going to be a live change, so you will be able to see right away what stuff are changing, and you will be able to figure out which font you like and you don't like. Then you could change the font size scale, maybe 150%. I don't think it's going to show it up over here, but anyway, actually it will. It's just a little bit slow, but there we go. Then you could also edit the font for the body, because of course the body is going to be a different font. You could change this to something similar, or anything or any font that you want to have. For example, this one, Archivo Narrow. Simply click on select, and it will automatically change the font of your website. You can also change the font size scale over here depending on the size that you want, and it will show you after a bit. There we go. It's now going to change the size of the font. You can also edit the layout over here. There's the layout over here, like the page width, the spacing between template section. You could add this, like the spacing over here between the featured products and the image banner over here will increase the more I increase it over here. For example, 92 pixel, and you're going to have to wait for a bit for it to apply. There we go. It's now going to add more space between your sections. Then you have your horizontal space, vertical space. You can also add animations. As you can see here, this reveal section on scroll. There's a hover animation like vertical lift maybe. So when you interact with your different buttons, there will be some effects. It will not be too visible, but as you can see, when I hover over this, it's going to like pop up or like have a lift that will show you the icon that you are wanting to interact with. You can also edit the buttons. This is like a general settings. You can edit the thickness, opacity, radius of the corner. For example, there we go. I change it to 10 pixel. And now let's see. There we go. There is now a curve on our button over here. Then there's also a curve on this button over here. So all buttons on your website will be changed in this section. And you can do the same thing for everything that you're seeing right now. It will apply on all the pages and everything all in one. So basically, this is the theme settings for the entire website. You can't do it for a specific page. It will apply on the entire website. Now, the next thing I want to check out is the products. Of course, we don't have a product yet, but to be able to add the product, we're simply going to save this first. Click on save. And right now, this is like the example product, but of course, when you add a specific product, it's going to appear different. So let's go and exit. And to be able to add a product, you're simply going to click on product section over here. And left side, the navigation, you have your products. Simply select that. And then you have over here, you have the option to add your product, import product, or find product to sell. Of course, for the demonstration, we're simply going to add our product by clicking on add your product, and then let's wait for it to load. There we go. Then we can simply add a title for our product. Let's go say sample product. That's sample product. Then for the description, let's generate text over here. T-shirt, cotton. There we go. Then we can ask generate text, and it will generate us a description for us. There we go. And it's going to appear here in a bit, I think. Anyway, over here on the right side, you have your status. You could have it as active or draft. You could choose which channels it will be published to. You have different channels over here. Then you have your media. Of course, you're going to have to add an image of your product. Then you could add it over here. You could add multiple images if you want, or you could also add it from a URL over here. You can enter a product category, a product type, vendor, collection. You have your collections over here. Add different tags as well. And then you have your pricing, let's say 100. Comparative price, let's say 500. There we go. Cost per item, 100. Cost per profit. Yeah, you have a 900 profit. It's going to show you the profit that you will make for the product that you're trying to sell. And for the inventory, let's say I have 5 on my inventory. And the other stuff here, we could leave it as it is. Then simply click on save. Then there we go. We now have a product, a very simple product for our store. Now let's go back to our online store and go back to our themes, and let's wait for it to load. Then we will continue customizing our home page, or rather the product page, because the appearance of the product page is different, and like there are different things that you could edit out or different things that you could change for the product page. As you can see, this is our product page over here. Very simple. You have your title, image, your price, quantity, add to cart, buy now, and your, of course, description over here. Then you have all of this template over here. Now, of course, some of this I don't want to see. For example, I don't want to have the footer over here. Actually, I'm going to remove this one. To be able to remove, simply open the block, click on remove. We're going to be removing that. Over here, I want my title to be on top of our image. So what we can do is actually, let's look for our image over here, related products. We don't have any related products for this one. This is our image. So I think we aren't allowed to change our image. Let's go move this one below. I don't think we can. So anyway, let's remove this related product because we don't need this. To be able to remove this, what we're simply going to do is we're going to click on the eye so that it's not going to be bothering us. You have your text over here, the my store over here. This is the text. You could add different text over here if you want. For example, you could have the tag 50% off. There we go. And it will appear on top of your sample product title. You have your title over here. Of course, you won't be able to customize this because this is like an information directly taken from the product. But if you want to edit the title, you can simply go back to products again, then simply edit this over here. Then over here, let's go back. You can also edit the price. You can move the price location. For example, I would like to show the price, of course, after like the variant picker, but we don't have a variant picker, so we can also remove that block. But you have your quantity over here. So I want the quantity to be above. Simply drag it. There we go. And it will change. There we go. Then for the price, of course, you can open this. We can't do anything about that. You have your buy buttons. You have these options over here. You can delete some of the options. There you have your description over here as well. Share option. Then the different blocks that you could add are all of this options over here. You could add a text, SKU, inventory status. I would like to have that, of course. There we go. Low stock, 5 left. So I would like the inventory status to appear below the title. There we go. So that our customer will know that the product is almost out. Then what other block can we add? You have your product rating, complementary products, pop-up, collapsible row. We could have the collapsible row over here. There we go. Then we could take our description. We could copy the content of our description over here and paste it inside our collapsible row instead over here, so that our content isn't too tight. So let's say over here, product description. There we go. Then you can change the icon because right now it's a check mark. Where is it? There we go. It's a check mark. You could change it to all of this option over here, or you could have it as none. And there we go. We have this. Then let's not turn this to a bold. And after that, you can simply click on back. Then now let's remove our description over here. You could remove block. Then we could change the product description location to under the buy. There we go. And if they want to see the product description, they can simply select that and they will be able to see the product description just like that. You could have multiple drop bars or multiple collapsible rows if you want. You could have variant picker, SKU, or any of this option. Then you could also add sections similarly to what we saw earlier. All of this is completely up to you depending on what you want to see or what you want to show on your product page. You could also see a preview over here so that you could see what it would look like, as you can see here. There we go. Then after that, you also have your footer over here. You could do the same thing. And you could also edit the theme for the specific page over here. You could change like the, for example, colors over here. You could have a schema 4, of course. But to be able to actually change specific section, of course, you're going to have to select that or select a specific section over here. Some blocks or some sections allows you to change the color, but some doesn't allow you, unfortunately. For example, this one, we can't really change the color in this section, as you can see. Or actually, we could do. On the theme settings, you could change this to something else. For example, we could change it to scheme 4, and certain sections will be edited. This is for sale badge color scheme. It's not going to show us much. Depends on the sold out badge color as well, so it's not going to change the actual background. Anyway, that is how you will be able to edit the product page. And you could also check out the different settings that you could play around with in the theme settings over here. Now, after this, we could also play around with the different pages. For example, we would like to play around with another page like collection list. You can open this. For example, this is the collection list, of course, and you could edit different things as over here as well. Maybe you don't like to see the announcement bar in this page, you can simply disable that. There we go. Will automatically make it disappear, or even the menu or the header, if you want, you can make it disappear just like that by clicking on our eye. And there we go, it's back again. Then you could add sections like earlier. You have your template. For the template, you only have this, or you could also have like a rich text that will like explain or talk about the brand. There we go. You could have this as the first part. Let's drag it on the top. There we go. So people will be able to see this first before this collection section over here. You could remove the buttons, remove block. There we go. You could also remove the title, maybe like the header. Let's go back here. Like this, remove block, and there we go. We will be able to remove that. Now we only have this content over here. Then you could add like maybe a photo. Let's go image banner. Let's see, slideshow, collage, multi-row, image sign-up, contact form, video. You could add a video if you want. You have your blog post, custom liquid. Let's try and using the image banner. There we go. Let's wait for it to load. Then let's remove all of this other block over here. And let's simply this, remove this as well. Now we only have like a specific image for our image banner, of course. Then you can simply select the image that you want to display. Maybe let's go to the images over here. Select that, click on done. Now we have your image over here. There we go. Then we could put this on top above our text, and there we go. Now we have like a very cheap version of our homepage, but now it is on our collection list. And there's a lot of things that you could play around. Then you could interact with it. You could open the specific page. Now you're over here. Now you could add different things over here as well. Basically, every page over here, you could do the same thing with the header, template, and the footer, and then you could play around with the theme settings as well. It's going to be easy once you get the hang of it. You can also check out the card page, as you can see here. It's going to be different, and you could change different things. Now, there's a lot of things that you need to set up before you are able to actually finish your store. The creation or the editing of the design is actually one of the many parts, of course. Like what we saw earlier in the homepage, we have this to-do list over here, your setup guide, to be able to get your store up and running so that you will be able to use it. Like we did add your first product, we customized our online store like what we did earlier, and now you have to add like a custom domain. This is a very important step. Then you have to add your professional logo, and then you could name your store. You could also notice earlier when we're clicking on the online store, maybe the navigation, you will see this option over here. Your online store is password protected. Only visitors with your password can access your store. So to be able to remove the password, you're simply going to click that, and you're going to have to select a plan, and then you're going to have to subscribe to be able to remove the password limitation. Now for new users, as you can see, there is a plan wherein you could have the shop running in $1 for the first 3 months, and you could use it for the basic, the Shopify version, or the advanced version. And there's a lot of different features and different benefits for each plan over here. So after you create your online store over here, you will now be able to publish your store and start selling with the store that you have proudly created. And that's it, guys. That is how you will be able to edit the Shopify Dawn theme. Now for our final conclusion, let's go check out the different things that we have done. Let's go and preview our store over here. Let's click on preview, and let's see if we will be able to see our store over here. Now, as you can see, the first thing I noticed is over here on the top, we have our menu. You have your catalog, contact, and about us. We have created this earlier. You have your image banner over here, your slideshow that we can move around with this option over here, or you could have the timer. The timer allows us to pause this. As you can see here, you could pause this and then you could focus on a specific banner, or you could play it, which will automatically move it every 3 seconds. So let's wait for it to move, and let's see how it will move. Let's see. I think I bugged it out, but anyway, it will automatically move. You also have your section over here. Now, we did not do the best editing or the best style. I'm just showing you how you could use a specific section, how you could do this, and how you could add that. But as you can see, this is how you will be able to do it. And you are able to see your results over here. And you have your featured product. And as you can see, our page is very clean. We didn't add too much. But when we click on our product over here, as you can see, we don't have the description. We don't have any of the bulky things, that the bulky information that we saw earlier. We just have the stock. We have the quantity over here. For example, I would like to have 5 quantity. Then if I would like to see the product description, I'm simply going to select this drop down over here. Then simply click on add to cart. I could also share it. I also have my emails over here, my different socials like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube over here. Now my item is added to cart. I could view the cart over here. Click on view cart. Now I will be redirected to the cart page. And over here, I could click on checkout. You have your estimated total over here. You have your PayPal. You have to connect everything else to be able to finish setting up your store right away. You can also edit the checkout page actually when you click on the section. Let's go check out and let's see what we can do with the checkout page. Over here, simply going to click on our options over here on the top, and you have your checkout page over here. And let's see what we could do with the checkout page. There are some pages that you can simply touch. It will stay and remain as it is. As you can see, there we go. Our checkout page is something we cannot really change. This is the permanent stuff for our checkout page. So there isn't something we can do about it. And you can also view the cart as well, the classic customer accounts and others options over here. Actually, let's go back to our home page. Let's click this home page. There we go. We are able to have different versions for our stores. You can see here you have this default option over here. So when you select this, you have the option to have international or the specific country that you are in. So for example, I could click on Philippines. I could now customize a store specifically designed for my country. I could have the language, I could have the pictures are for my country, and I could keep it a separate version than the international version. So basically, I have this, and anyone in the Philippines accessing my store will be able to see the Philippine version. They won't be able to use the international version unless they want to. But if others are living in, for example, America or in other countries out there, they won't be able to access or use the Filipino or the Philippine version of my store because it is specifically for the Philippines, as indicated over here. But for the international, of course, you can create an international version which is different from your Philippine version or the default version, as you can see here. So you have different options or different versions. You could also add different countries as well in the settings, just like what we saw earlier when we were playing around with our announcement bar. Over here, like the country selector, you could edit and add this on the market settings when you click this option over here. You could also add a language. As you can see here, you could add another language or another country over here. In this section, you are able to see the Philippines and the international options over here. And so that's it, guys. And that's how you will be able to customize your Shopify Dawn theme. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.